What's up, world? Jay Wynn, that's the only great one left. Black in the, black and back. Yeah, I'm black too, but I'm back in the flesh, and I'm back in the flesh. You know what I'm saying? Black in the flesh and back in the flesh. But yeah, we back at it like an addict, man. Jay Wynn, that's the only great one left. I appreciate y'all that been tuned in, tapping, and you know what I'm saying, taking the time and the energy, giving me, feedback, leaving your comments, leaving your shares, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Shout out to the new subscribers. You know what I'm saying? And we definitely got some things to talk about, man. I've been being a little less frequent, but I tap in here when we got something to talk about, right? As a community, as a people. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we gotta have conversations. It's like, hold up, we gotta talk about this one, right? Right back there, I'm over here playing on, I'm making my beats on the TV, just vibing. But yeah, I just came across something. Something came across the Jones desk. Some came across the desk of, and us here Jonesians, you know what I'm saying? We gotta actually, we gotta have a good chop. You know what I'm saying? My man started calling me. Yo, but this one's crazy. This one's crazy. I wanna wait till a couple of y'all get up in here, but y'all know how we do it. If you just came in here, wipe your feet at the door, it's a store, that means like, haha, double tap that screen, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Put me in the algorithm, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we just gonna have an open dialogue about this because I want to know y'all opinions about something. But also, I have a couple of opinions. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go both ways. You know what I'm saying? Pause. All right. This is one of them. You know, Low Blow says, "Salute Jones, the legend. I appreciate you, brother. God bless you. Yes, sir. You know." We gotta have certain conversations as a people. I feel like that we be neglecting. You know what I'm saying? 1090 Jake is the Jakes. Whole time. Whole time. That's crazy. I thought he was at least like he seemed posed like a stiff white boy. He seemed like, you know what I'm saying? He seemed like somebody that was, he seemed like he wasn't necessarily like, I didn't think he was no super gangster or nothing, but like, it's just a little crazy, right? I'm gonna break it down though. We gonna talk about it. Let me hit the share. Y'all hit that like if you haven't already. What's up, Harsh? Hello, sir. Peace. What's going on? Oh, okay, yeah, boom. We just shut up like that. What's up, y'all? Okay, boom. There we go. So, all y'all new people, I appreciate y'all being here, right? First of all, hit that like. Double tap that screen. Bam, bam. Just do that right fast. Bam, bam. We got a couple rules here if you already know, all right? You could do whatever you want. You could talk. You could troll. Just pay your toll. All I need you to do is like it. You know what I'm saying? And you can say what you want. Just don't say nothing that's, you know what I'm saying, offensive, right? To any one group of people. Thank you, D-Ness. He knows the routine. He put the Wolfway at the bottom, which is my cash app. Shout out to everybody that wants to, support or have shown me any support in the past. We also have the super chat, which is on here. So if you want, you feeling the content, you feeling what we doing, you can just, show your support however you appreciate it, and I appreciate you. All right. Let me pin that. I'm gonna pin the cash app at the bottom for anybody if you want to send a donation. Also, you can also purchase my audiobook, which is, available now on Audible, Google Play, Amazon, Storytel, you know what I'm saying? Anywhere they sell, that type of content, it's available. Or you could just Google it. But also, you could just hit me up direct. So that's why I put my cash up there. Also, that way we just can have full lines of, full lines of business open, right? I could shoot you something, you could shoot me something, pause. We could show each other, a little bit of support. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, right? So, I used to be offended when people called me Unc, but okay, now I guess I am Unc now, right? I'm almost 45 years old. Fuck it. Unc, are you being cooking right now? Yes, I am cooking. I'm cooking some salmon. I want to cook some salmon and some mashed potatoes, right? I want to cook some salmon and some mashed potatoes. What's up? So, any of you that hasn't hit the like, all right? So, we just going to get right into the conversation, right? Because this is one that was just really a genuine thing, right? And that's one of the advantages I think that I have, as a content creator, I guess. Even though I have not been taking my job seriously, pun intended. I'm not going to lie. I haven't been taking my job as a content creator, seriously. I'm gonna be honest about it. My channel's been monetized for some months now, right? I got a check sitting in YouTube that I still ain't cash. Shame on you, Jones. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little ashamed to admit it. I haven't really been being a professional about this, right? Because I got other things I'm doing. I got other, whatevers. But this definitely is something I just said to my people today. I'm ordering the chair. I'm ordering the chair, or I'm ordering the camera. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm gonna do all this stuff to just be the best that I could be at this too, right? Because if I'm gonna do it, I gotta do it right? Come on, Jones. Get with the times, right? All right. So I'm gonna professionalize this a lot more. We're gonna have recaps, we're gonna have reactions, we're gonna have a lot of different things on this channel coming forward. I'm gonna bring y'all with the journey of, these old school cars and how I'm fixing them up, and transporting my new Camaro, my new old school from California. I'm gonna show y'all the building process from the ground up, all that. We're gonna do just a bunch of life stuff. I'm gonna just bring y'all around for the journey because I really don't be showing that part. And we have been getting some good stories in. Y'all know I'll be having my stories, I kind of fell back with the stories in the last couple weeks or whatever, because honestly, I've been shaking. If you've been paying attention, check out the Sincere Cypher, which is out right now. I think it's close to 200,000 views in less than a week. The Mark 1 battle just dropped. Check that out. I was a little weird that it dropped on a Monday at 12 at midnight, but whatever. It's out, right? Go check that out. All right. If you haven't checked out the other stuff that I've been doing, the John battle, the Fire the Misfit battle, I don't know what happened with that Loso battle, I don't know. But it's just we've been working, right? But this job, I'm here, y'all. I'm here. I know I haven't been here like I should be, but I'm with y'all, all right? So we got something to talk about today, though. Today we're going to put something on a chopping block, you know what I'm saying? And guess who it is? It's a big, pink, it's a pink, it's a Pink Panther, pause. This is a guy that acted like, he was with us, right? It was a sheep in wolf's clothing. That's crazy. A sheep in wolf's clothing is OD. Bro was a sheep in wolf's clothing, yo. So I saw a video and it said, and I don't go by what other people say, right? Because this is what happens a lot of times on the internet. You take a video, you see one piece of it, you name it a caption or something, and then you put it out for the clicks. Most of us, me included, we don't watch the whole video. We don't really know what the whole thing was, right? Unless you have to literally go digest the whole content once you find out that it's serious enough, right? You might say, oh yeah, I seen some. This is exactly how it goes. I'm gonna play it out for y'all. Tell me if I'm lying, if I'm flying. And I'm gonna read some of y'all comments when y'all commenting before we get into the real chop, right? But hold up. Tell me if I'm lying. This is how the conversation go. You like, yo, you seen such and such and such? Yeah, I seen something with that. What happened with that shit? Be like, yo, blah, 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 blah. Word? Yo, I ain't even know all that. Be like, yeah, I just came across on my feed or something. I just clicked on it, but I ain't watched the whole shit. Is that not how it goes? We don't even be knowing until we really find out it's important enough to pay attention to it, right? So what people get off with, they do a lot of these clickbaity moves and titles these days because all they want is your click, man. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I just never functioned this way because I never looked at a click as some money. I was never hustling clicks. You know what I'm saying? It's different clicks. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't hustling clicks. So I wasn't looking at it as, hey, just do something. Get them to click it, man. Who cares? Right? But that's how a lot of people think with their content. That's how a lot of people think with their brands in general, right? Luckily for a lot of y'all, if you are in tune with and you like good, pure stuff, I'm from the old school, man. I don't even feel right with myself if I'm just capping and doing a bunch of extra shit. It gotta be organic, it gotta feel natural, pause. It gotta at least be something that's like not that much of an extension of me, who I am already, right? For me to do it as a job. right? So, okay. He said, can you say, no, I can't say that. Also, a quick tip. You should also make a Serious, Kick, and Twitch account as backups, or maybe if you decide to stream on them all at once, then you can do that too. Well, see, this is the part. I feel like I'm one of these people, bro. I'm a symbolic guy, I think, right? In certain ways. Tell me if this makes sense to you. I'm a person that once I do a certain thing, that's it. I'm there. I'm in it. I'm in the zone, right? For instance, like when I was young and I was thinking about doing bad stuff, I had a bad bag. Like I had a bag that I just threw all my bad stuff in. My spray paint cans, my mask. If I had a weapon, I put that in there. You know what I'm saying? And when it was time to ride out, when I got that call from the homies, I grabbed that bag. And I know I'm in my bag, right? Same way like with basketball, right? Once I bought Once you buy a certain pair of sneakers, and like back in the day it was Olaf's. He had these shorts called Olaf's. I don't know if y'all remember him. I hope Olaf got his just due. I hope somebody, somewhere gave him some money. Because this guy came up with these shorts. Basically the modern day basketball short that we know as like the baggy whatever. Olaf basically came up with this. In Harlem, he had a small shop that was the size of the kitchen, not even. And it was stacked to the ceiling with shorts. And basically, he had the whole city. Everybody got their shorts from Olaf. They was $45, and those was like the premium of shorts. All the teams started going to them, get their uniforms made, and then N1 came out and basically stole the design. Came out with the same shorts and just made it N1. And I don't know if he ever got paid for that. But long story short, when you put them shorts on, and you got that brand new Spalding and them brand new sneaks on, you go to it's ball time. Now I'm in basketball mode. Now I'm ready to work out. I'm ready to train. I'm whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my uniform. You feel me? So in this streaming world, I guess, I think part of my uniform with this is the chair. I'm not gonna lie, pause. Once I got my setup, my backdrop, you know what I'm saying? It's all on the way. You're gonna see. The backdrop, the setup, you know what I'm saying? I might embroider the wolf on the headrest. Feel me? Now I'm looking at it as I'm at my desk. I think that's gonna be part of my process with this one. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Playboy Princess? Hello, how you doing? Iran in the building. Assalamu alaikum to Iran. Peace. Good night, bro. What's up, Travis? Good night to you too, brother. Pause. That's not a pause. I saw they was doing the videos talking about saying good night to your homie. Good night is not pause, but it just depends on how you say it, right? Be like, have a good night, my nigga. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's not a pause. Whatever. But anyway, what's the deal, bro? So let's get to the topic at hand. Right? You said words, your lives. I'm trying to read some of y'all comments before I start chopping. Jer's in the building. That's a fact, Patty Dope. It said, dig this, said, word, your lives helped me through some hard times. Keep it lit. Thank you, my brother. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you know what I'm saying, you letting me know that, because that's inspiration for me to keep going, bro. And that's remember when I said, sometimes I don't be want to do this. I'm not going to lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm really not an internet guy. I'm really not. You know what I'm saying? But even though, ironically, I'm one of the first guys to get lit on the internet. See how that is? It's crazy, man. Imagine if I embraced this 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I can't even imagine where I'd be, who I'd be. It's crazy. He said, I heard of 1090 Jake on Gully's channel. Who is he? Okay, let's get to it. He said, let's life is serious. That's right, dig this. You know it. Salute Jones, salute King Henry. All right, cool. So let's get to the Chile in the building. All right, peace. So let's get to the meat of the sandwich. Pause. Let's get to the nitty, the gritty, man. Let's get down to it, man. 1090 Jake is the Jakes. 1090 Jakes is the police. 1090 Jakes is on the other side of the fence. You know why? Because I just saw an interview. And as I was saying, but I get tangent-y, and also, especially when I'm medicated or elevated, I tend to get a little, elaborate with my tangents. But what I started to break down to y'all is that I saw a video, and that someone was saying, basically, that, a bunch of people say he wasn't valid. But I didn't listen to them because everyone that's lit, once you get to a certain level financially, you're gonna have what? Haters. You're gonna have people that are gonna say, no, he doesn't deserve it. He's not who he says he is. You know, he's not on the level where he acts like he is. He's not, you know, whatever, right? You're gonna have people trying to tear you down if you're going up. That's just nature, right? Opposing energies, right? So I didn't take it serious. I didn't know any details about his situation. I heard someone say that when he was in jail, you know, they supposedly had paperwork that he had told on somebody one time when he was in jail or something like that, and he was under pressure supposedly. So I didn't see that, but also in my mind, I was thinking I had seen people make statements to police. I had seen people fake roll it up, not really roll it up, but still, you know, when the police ask you what happened, you're really scared. So instead of saying, nah, I'm good, I just fell, you know, like what I would say, or somebody that's solid would say, no, nothing happened. I hit myself in the shower. I cut myself shaving. You know what I mean? This happened to me when I cut my thumb was literally open and hanging, blood everywhere. And he said, what happened? I said, I was cooking. Wallahi, I told him I was cooking. Cop got so mad. He was like, what? He said, well, so you didn't think to put a Band-Aid on it? I said, yeah, man, I had a Band-Aid on it, man, but I was skating around and it came off. He was so mad. But it's just like, and this is when I was a teenager, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, when people be talking that I was young thing, that's what I mean. Like, I was probably around the same age as him when this happened. I was probably like 18. So if this is what I'm doing, why are you doing, you know what I'm saying? So this is where people do that. He was young or I was a kid thing. No, I don't believe in that. I believe in what's in you is what's in you, bro. Pause. But what your character is what's gonna manifest. And what really the truth is, I think of this situation is when you get some money, when you get a position of influence, when you get a little bit of power even, that's when you see who somebody is for real. When you even get a voice, some people pull their phones out and they be sitting here running their mouth all day to the internet, whatever, which is what I never wanted to feel like, right? Even though I have a world that knows my name and, you know, wants to hear something from me, sometimes it might not feel that way to me, you know what I'm saying? That's just because of the man I am. I'm not used to just being here with my phone. Something happens, I get it shaking, I pull out my phone. You know what I'm saying? I'm arguing with a female, pull out my phone. Like, I don't understand that as a reflex. You know what I'm saying? Something else might get pulled out, pause, or, you know what I'm saying, something else. But a phone has never been the first go-to weapon to me. So in this world where we've had people that have created fame and created fan bases and created millions of dollars for being somebody that literally learned how to use to their advantage. And what it seems like is 1090 Jake is one of these people, right? He's learned how to create a lane about supposedly exposing tellers, snitches, rats, right? But ironically, he has a report, which now I believe because he confirmed it from his own mouth. And what's funny is I still didn't watch the whole interview, but I didn't need to because I saw what he said. I saw what he said out his own mouth, which was, I was a white guy in the South where there's a lot of, you know, pressure in prison, dealing with white boys in the South. And this is true. This is something that is weird to me. This is weird. I went to jail. I never spent any time in jail in the South, but I've been in a jail before in the South, right? What's up, new people? If you didn't already, hit that screen, double tap that screen, man. Give me that like button, thumbs up. Let me share this one time on my Twitter one time. Don't go nowhere. So look, okay, so boom. So, where was I? Yeah. Okay, basically, what I'm getting at, because I don't remember exactly where I was at, is that Jake basically took on the approach of, and this is what he said himself. I'm in the South. I'm outnumbered. I'm a white guy in the South. This is what I was going to say. This is what I don't understand. I've been in California in jail, not prison, but in jail. But it's the same connotation. You're dealing with people that are going in and out of prison. You're dealing with the same level of politics, depending on where you are, right? Because they matriculate, right? Even though it might be a little bit different, level 4, level 3, you know what I mean? Camp, county jail. It's different levels of the politics, but it's still politics, right? When you're in the South, for whatever reason, even just from the videos you see on the internet, you see white boy off K2 squirming around on the ground, somebody making somebody eat a roach, somebody making somebody eat a rat, somebody beating somebody up and whatever. In the South, there's a lot more of blacks seemingly picking on whites, right? And you see a lot of that in prison in the South. I've never seen that in California, which is confusing to me. That how is the California white boys taking more of a stand than the white boys in the South, which is the ones that are literally the ones that fought to keep black people down? You're the South. You're the ones that started the KKK and all this stuff. How is the strongest resistance of black people forces coming from the West? That's confusing to me. That's confusing to me that in the South, white boys get hell in prison. But in California, white boys got, you know what I'm saying, a different level of whatever. They politicking with the Mexicans, and if they looking at us like they don't have to be cool with us. They can say the N-word, they can whatever, and just not even deal with us. And literally look at it like, we good. It's different. Think about that. That's deep. Okay, so that's one. He's saying that, well, because of the dynamic in the South, you know, and that's how it is, especially in Florida, which is the irony, though. And this is the irony of the situation. When you're a black man, when you're a white man, and you're in a black community, we look at it two ways. We really want to only know if you're P-word. I don't want to say the P-U-S-S-Y word. That's all we really want to know. We just want to know if you're willing to go. If you're willing to go, you're good. If you're willing to stand up for yourself as a man, that's all we need to know. You could literally be a middle-aged white man, right? And you tell me if I'm wrong. You tell me if I'm lying. You correct me, okay? And if you haven't already hit that like, then you ain't my friend. You gotta stop acting like that to me, because I'm a good nigga and I need your like, goddammit. Because I'm really trying to be one of these influencer guys, and I've been messing up. So help me out, all right? Damn it. Anyway, so okay. If a middle-aged white man goes in a club, right? He goes in a club, regular nightclub, by himself, looking like a computer programmer, right? And he goes in that club, and he goes on the dance floor, right? Can't dance, looking awkward, looking crazy, right? He goes on the dance floor, he's doing this white man dance and doing whatever, right? And a girl says, you know, he starts talking to a girl, and some dude steps to him, right? And pushes him or whatever. If the white guy, and this, I'm not even being racist or anything, I'm just giving y'all some perspective on culture, right? In our culture versus other cultures, right? If the white guy, the nerdy looking, he gotta be nerdy looking too. I'm not talking about just like some regular looking guy. I'm talking about he's got his, you know, he coming here with, you know what I'm saying? He's coming from here, you know what I'm saying? He's doing one of these, you know what I'm saying? He's coming in here, you know what I'm saying? He's coming from, Indonesia, you know, he's doing that, right? He's on that act, right? It's obvious he's nerdy and out of place, right? It's obvious he don't belong type shit, right? If that dude, right, pushes him with some shit and the white man turns around and he's like, what's up, bro? You wanna fucking go? You wanna fucking go, bro? You wanna fucking go? Let's go. Let's go, man. Fuck it. Right? And hits you with a two-piece, bing, bing, right? Oh, the whole club gonna be like, oh, we gonna love that nigga. What you mean? Shots up, matter of fact, nah, fuck that. If you try to jump white boy, we might even jump you now. That's how much love we got as a people. You good now. We calling you white chocolate nigga. Nah, come on, man. Now that you whole team now, baby. Once we know you got some heart, once you know you ready to ride for yours, once you know it don't matter what you look like. It don't matter that you're a nerd. It don't matter you can't dance. It don't matter none of that. You're willing to stand up for yourself. You're not willing to let nobody take advantage of you because you're different. You don't let that scare you into not coming around. We respect you even more now. Hello? This is the way black people really think. So when we get guys like 1090 Jake, some of them are smart enough by being around us to notice that we think that way. We're accepting. We accept y'all. We let y'all come around and fool us, basically, because you ain't like that. You're not willing to stand up for yourself. You don't even mean that you're blood. You've been claiming blood, and this is what this man said out of his own mouth. This man said out of his own mouth, you know, it made sense in jail. It made sense in jail, you know, but I mean, it doesn't make sense now. Now I'm free, so it doesn't make any sense. Yo, he went full white man on us, y'all. He sounded like a Jewish man explaining this shit. Like it was like, oh, he went full Caucasian. There wasn't a hint of blood in his speech patterns, nothing. This nigga whole speech patterns, just turned completely corporate on us. Like, he was like, yeah, you know, it made sense in jail, but you know, no, it just doesn't make sense, right? In the free world, I mean, why would you join a gang, right? Like that's basically what you say. Like, why would you join a gang in the free world? You know, like I was in jail. I was like, oh. And you could say maybe he was trolling, right? That's maybe he was trolling, right? But if he was trolling, he wouldn't be saying this in response to allegations about you being a rat. You wouldn't be saying, yeah, I was scared of jail, nigga. The fuck you thought? That's why I became a blood. But now I got money. Don't need niggas no more. I'm good. And I made a bunch of money off you niggas because you actually believed it. Y'all actually believed me. Y'all let me in. I saw some shit. So I got a bunch of shit to say to the internet. But I really was finessing the whole time. The whole time I was in there like this, being a token white guy because I knew y'all would accept me. All he probably had to do was some regular crass dummy shit, some regular bullshit that for a normal nigga, they would have never accepted. See, some people be thinking it's the other way, and some people said shit like that. Yeah, that white, David Chappelle said that shit as a joke one day, and everybody believed it. And by the way, if you ain't hit that like already, your mama titty stank. But yeah, somebody said that, and your breast milk was sour when you drunk it. But yeah, if this nigga said that shit one time, that's nasty too. Niggas said this shit one time, bro. Niggas like really knowing deep down sometimes, but it's like this nigga Dave Chappelle said this shit as a joke, talking about that white boy that you see in those gangs. He's the most dangerous one in that gang. You don't know. He did all type of crazy stuff to be down. Bro, the crazy part is, it's the opposite. All he had to do was some basic regular nigga shit. And it's like, oh, white boy just did that shit? All right, yo, you cool, white boy. Come on. It's the opposite, bro. We are very accepting as a people, man. And we actually like to see someone from somewhere else and whatever because it's like, it's fun to us. This is why I was actually scared to battle Jin. If y'all go back and y'all look at the tapes and y'all look at the things that I said, the irony, I made mine, you know, I got famous internationally of basically roasting a Chinese man. But I didn't want to battle him. You know why? I had told the organization that was on MTV that had already won 11 consecutive battles. I told them I don't want to battle Jin. I'm not even ashamed to say that because of what I wound up doing to him, right? But I back down. That's crazy. I've never done that with nobody else. I've never told no organization like, nah, I don't want it with him though. If I did say that, it was like in a way that he was whack or something. It wasn't like I respect him so much. I don't, you know what I'm saying? That I didn't want no smoke with him because the gimmick was so strong on his side. It's not the other way. A Chinese guy in the hood, he says 2 or 3 crazy things to you. Chinese nigga killed you. Ah, get on. Yeah, China, China, China. That's how we think, bro. You know what I mean? He said, I like your music. Good song. Thank you, man. I don't know what song you're talking about, brother, but thank you. He said, where you from? I'm from Jersey, man. And this is another thing. Your boy 1090 fake. I guess that's what we call him, 1090 fake. This is what I feel like was his fatal career mistake, right? Because I actually shouted this man out. Now I feel stupid because it wasn't a shout out, but it was just a bar. But I said, what I say? I said, niggas got 18 years and you got shocked and freedom? I said, man, where's 1090 Jake when you need him? Right? I said that in a bar because I thought, I was naive enough to think that because someone pays for paperwork from a courthouse, like anyone could do, and someone actually sits there and makes the time to make a blog explaining someone's case, which was a smart monetary decision that he made, that there was some type of authenticity to his platform. That naively led me to that conclusion. However, not even extensive research, but simply, observing the inconsistencies of this man, and not only, me being someone that like I like to be someone that gives people the benefit of the doubt, I guess. I like to actually, feel like, well, you don't know. It could be this, right? It could be, right? I do that sometimes for people that probably don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? So it really this situation itself, it kind of is an eye opener because it's like even you, Jones, you thought you thought you were a good judge of character, but that's the irony. You never know, bro. You never know. But boy basically said out his own mouth, yes, he's not a blood. He only basically was a blood for protection in prison, right? He basically said out his own mouth he's been keeping up the facade professionally since a teenager. He said also he has no use for this anymore because, as I said before, money will tell you who people are. He's telling you, I'm a guy that, hey, I just was in a situation where I realized I had to do what I had to do to survive. This was the way for me to survive because the white boys were getting punished. I didn't want to get punished. He probably had to do some minimal things. I doubt that he put anybody down, right? I doubt that he went on any real kamikaze missions, right? I doubt they put a knife in his hand and say, yo, you gotta go and put that dude down. He better get airlifted up out of here or he better be gone, bro. That's what needs to happen, and that's what's gonna make you sanctioned. I doubt that's what happened, right? Because if that's what happened, you wouldn't be scared enough to have to join a gang in the first place. Hello? If you would go unalive somebody, harm somebody, or take up arms against somebody to be a part of something, then why wouldn't you do it to be your damn self? That makes sense? So you'll do all of this stuff just to be a part of something, but you wouldn't do it just to keep somebody off your booty cheeks, nigga? You won't do it just to stay a virgin, little young white boy, but you'll do it to try and be down with something for 20 years. That's the irony. Because if you was going the type of person that would hurt somebody, you would have just hurt somebody and stayed safe, and you'd have been good. Because the first person that saw white boy crazy, he with that shit. You wouldn't have had to have been a gang member, but you don't have that in you. You don't have that fight in you for real. But you do have a look that looks like you might be one of those Boston little, Italian, Irish thugs or something. You look a little bit like one of them fat white people I see in Boston, right? One of them fat white boys with the brim like this. You know what I'm saying? They'll have the brim like this. You know what I'm saying? And a big red beard. And be like, "Hi, you get the car? Oh, you get the car? Get the fucking car already! Fuck!" Right? So they be walking around like in Boston. They have a beer. You know what I'm saying? "What's up, dude? You good?" They think they tough. You know what I'm saying? I like the white boys. That'd be the funny part. Like, I actually like the white boys that ain't, like, that's the ones I like. I like the ones that don't try to be down. I like the ones that's doing them. You know what I'm saying? They got they pickup trucks. Not saying that there's some that, I have white friends that are part of our culture that grew up with me, that, grew up with us, everything too. Don't get it twisted. But I'm talking about the guys, the 1090 fakes of the world. You know what I'm saying? That have been able to masquerade good. You know what I'm saying? This was another thing though, but this is where I did another tangent, right? I was starting this off where I said what I thought was one of his fatal career mistakes, which I didn't really say. I saw the video he did. If you came through and you didn't already, hit that screen. I see more people than likes, man. Double tap that screen if you know what I mean. Come on, man. Give me that like. Stop acting like that. I also saw this video where basically he did a video about the old man, Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover. Someone who not only, I've never seen anyone say anything bad about Larry Hoover, which is crazy because if you're a gang leader, if you're a leader of one of the biggest, what's considered by the government to be a criminal organization in the history of urban culture, you would think somebody got something bad to say about this man, right? You would think somebody's saying, "Nah, man, he did this, he did this, he did that." Bro, this man did a video where he tried to use a newspaper article from 1960 something, where the newspaper article is saying that allegedly a young 18-year-old Larry Hoover went to high school on the first day of high school, believe as a senior something. He was 18 years old. 18-year-old Larry Hoover went to high school for the first day, his senior year of high school, and two guys came in there and clapped him, right? One of the guys said, he walked up and said, "Burn him." Yeah, that's crazy how even in the 60s, they had swag, everything. They walked up, and they were spinning in the 60s. People be thinking this shit to do. This is 1964. And they walked in high school on the first day of high school to shoot somebody. Some 17-year-old kids from the hood. So people be thinking this is like, oh, this is new, these YNs. They've been YNs, man. These is YNs we talking about right now. Larry Hoover was a YN. All right? So boom. So he gets shot. The newspaper claims that he told the police whatever, right? So 1090 fake runs with it, of course, because you gotta make it a story. And you're untouchable now, right? You got money now. You're untouchable. You're not scared of no gangs. You're not even scared of your own gang. You can just say, whatever, I tricked you guys. Oh well. It's nanny boo-boo time, right? You got enough bread to just nanny boo-boo the whole Nation of Bloods and any gangs you decide to disrespect, right? Because you got a camera, you got the internet, you got some money that you think is going to protect you from the repercussions of the fuckery that you basically are admitting to us now, how much you insulted the black culture, how much you don't respect us. You basically said, "I don't respect you guys. I just did this shit to get, survive around you guys. I've been claiming this shit still as a free man for years, but you're saying out your own mouth that this don't even make sense for you to do as a free man. So all of them powwows, all of them sessions where you 212 with the homies, all of that was cap, is what you saying out your own mouth. So even if it ain't true, that's the level of respect that you got for the blood. That's the level of respect that you got for black culture, that we accepted you. We watching you, we jacking you, we treating you like you one of us. We're not calling you no white boy that don't fit in, none of that. We watch your videos and we use you as a reference. We'll send a nigga to you to see if he's official. This is the crazy part. Why are we so accepting of our enemy? One, because this is our enemy. I'm not saying all white people are, but this is our enemy, right? The white man who thinks like the white man with the white, right? The white man. You the white man that Malcolm X and them was talking about before he went to Mecca and all that. You that version of the white man, right? Because you think that not only after you finesse people that basically accepted you, that showed you love, that gave you support clearly, that protected you, even if that was your intention at first, after you got that from something or somebody, you don't even feel the obligation as a man to actually, not disrespect that as an organization, that as a whatever, even if you felt like it's stupid. I should have been doing it anyway, whatever. But you didn't die. You got protected. You got a whole team or group of people that was your homies that you was able to talk to, that was able to show you some type of support. So what you're saying is you're not a man that even respects that. That's what you're saying. You're saying the man you are inside, pause, don't even respect that type of stuff. Because you respected that type of stuff, you wouldn't even let them type of words come out your mouth, even if they was true. Even if they was true, you wouldn't say that to other people, because even if I thought, right? Even if I thought like this, right? Even if I met a female or something, right? That was some goofy little chick from nowhere, that whatever, man, she's slow. I would just finesse her ass, man. I don't care, whatever, right? I don't think this way, by the way. I don't even deal with people in that way, especially females. I like my game to be real and to matter, and I like to deal with people in a real way. But I'm just saying, this is a type of way a lot of niggas thinking this is a tactic, right? Let's say you just thinking about finessing this bitch. I don't care. I don't whatever. I'm going to run her credit up. I'm going to mess everything up. I'm going to do whatever I got to do to try to get on, right? But once you start dealing with her and you see, damn, she's solid. She's doing things for you that even your homies don't do. You get in trouble or something. She take the charge for you or something like that. Take a gun charge, say, hey, it was mine. Anything, right? If you a real nigga, you wouldn't even feel right talking bad about that person, bro. You're not gonna be talking. And you know what would happen? This would be happen sometimes. Y'all niggas be falling in love the other way. But a nigga start talking to you, whatever happened with that little weird bitch you was there? And nigga be like, don't talk about her like that, right? Don't talk about her like that, bro. That's my peoples now. Like, we cool now. Like, right? That's how we cool now. Like, now you regret that you didn't even ran your mouth talking all about like that about Shorty and all that, because now she your peoples, right? But why dude don't think like that? Because you not that type of nigga. You don't even appreciate when you had some solid homies that showed your ass some love, even though you was a fucking buster, nigga. That shit make me mad, because it's just like a white man that thinks he can flaunt his white privilege and get away with it. That's what he's saying. That's what he's basically saying. He's saying, listen, man, I ain't scared to say, I don't care about none of y'all niggas. I never did. I was kind of playing game. But I got money now. I'm good. So I can say whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. Nothing can happen to me. He might be right. He might be right. But the irony, he played this game with Larry Hoover, right? He said that Larry had told on him. This is how gangster Larry Hoover is, man. Free that old man, man. Free that old man, bro. That went to prison when he was damn near still a child, man. That damn near ran a city as a teenager, bro. That's crazy when you think about it, bro. That man went to prison when he was 23, I think. 23 years old, bro. And that man is in prison as a, 70-year-old? You know what I'm saying? So, they're scared of his power, man. They were scared of these young black men's power. It wasn't just the fact that they committed crimes. They were scared of the influence that these young black men had. They had organizations to stop them, man. They really started, whole national ordinances just to bring down these young teenagers, nigga. You understand that? The United States government had to come up with specific plans and ordinances, COINTELPRO and all of that, to stop teenagers. Fred Hampton and all of them was 20, 21. Larry, what you call it? Pardon me, bro. Bobby Seale and Huey Newton and all of them. They wasn't 27, 28, 30. They was young, bro. They fear our youth. They know the power of our youth, bro. We don't be know. We think it's all YNs. We be talking all this YN stuff. What's up, Selena? I see you, baby. Let me chop, though. All this YN stuff. No, bro. Our youth run the world, man. They set the trends. We've been running the world. As that youthful energy and the level of intelligence that we just gifted to have, they're scared of that. And we have used it in ways that have been diabolical. That's true. But the reality is, Larry Hoover ain't never tell on that man, bro. And you know what Larry Hoover did? I mean, the man who shot Larry Hoover did. This was the most gangster thing I've seen. He did a blog. He is 60-something, however year old he is. He did a blog clearing up, and you know what he said? This is what just showed me like the level of who that man is to people. And this is who you decided to play with for clicks. This man said, bro, not only did he not tell him, he said that people think that's my claim to fame, that I shot Larry Hoover, one of the most gangster people ever. He said, no, bro, that's my claim to shame. He said, I'm embarrassed that I hurt that man, that I hurt a man of that caliber, that I hurt somebody that great, basically. I'm paraphrasing, but this is basically what he's saying. I'm ashamed that I hurt somebody that great. And they got the nerve to say that man told, this is what he said. And he got the nerve to say that man told on me? That man ain't never told on me. But you got a blog talking about gang leader Larry Hoover that told. A man that don't have nothing but his respect. A man that for the past 50 years, or however long, that had nothing but his respect and his name. His freedom been gone. His whole legacy. He got another son that's a grown, real nigga. All type of stuff that he hasn't been able. But you think it's okay for clicks, for you to just try to throw his legacy under the bus off of a newspaper clipping. You done went from being the so-called source of all the real nigga-ness with the court papers that you would pay for. Check the game, y'all. That's how deep it is. You would pay for all this other stuff, right? But guess what? You get money now. So you probably don't even care to pay. You probably don't even care to pay for the court work paperwork, because you know what? Even if it was in the 60s, guess what? You can still pay for that paperwork. It's still public record. Guess what? This nigga don't respect us enough to even pay for the paperwork to even see if he fucking telling the truth to us no more. You think you're gonna get away with doing and saying whatever you want to do, even the most gangster nigga that might have ever lived and still living. You think you're gonna disrespect him to our face too. This nigga crazy. That white boy crazy. King Wolf Jones, salute John. Wipe your feet at the door. You heard? Yeah, absolutely, man. Name is all a man needs, and reputation. I don't feel like that's all a man needs, baby, but I feel like a man can move mountains with just that, though, right? Just having your rep and having your name, and as a man like Larry Hoover, as a man like Serius Jones, as a man like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even putting myself in the same vein as him, no disrespect, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying my name after. But when you think about just your name is all you have, that's what that means, to where your name is your brand. That's who you represent. Your name comes with a lot of stuff because people know your character, right? You couldn't be no guy that could start an international gang if you got smut on your name, you idiot. What are you talking about? So what you're saying is millions of people are all dumb. And you're the big smart white man. Millions of niggas are dumb. There's not one nigga in the millions of GDs that lived all these years that could have did the homework to find out if Larry Hoover had smut on his name. Nobody could have did that. You're the first white man that found a newspaper clipping that says, oh, yep, I got it, guys. Look, I'm the official. You got the scroll. This nigga's crazy, bro. The audacity of you to even think that you are like that intelligence is crazy. That audacity is crazy. Because I'm the type of person that I'm gonna think just the way I think with a bar or something. Somebody had to think of that already. Somebody had to look that up. Somebody had to do the home. Somebody, nobody. You're the first smart nigga in the world that had to decide. Let me find out if my leader's a rat. Nobody checked if their leader's a rat. There's no way to check that. When you already told us that you're the guy that taught us how to check. You made us believe that you're the fucking guy that teaches people to look up paperwork. Niggas will reference you like, oh yeah, this is 290 Jake said. Because nobody wants to do the work. That's the reality is. And you're a cop for real. So then you're okay with doing all that paperwork and stuff because you really think like the police anyway, right? So you did all the police work, but in a nigga way, right? You studied niggas enough to basically do police work on the internet, but in a nigga way. That's the summary of 1090 fake, 1090 Jake. She said, oh, okay. Basically, baby, that's basically what he did. You summarized, you hung around niggas, you were accepted by the gang culture, right? You learned all of our language, you learned all of our ways, right? So that you can go back and report it to the internet, but with a spin on it that you're exposing the rats. You're exposing the people that told. But either way, even if these people told, we don't care about them, so that's why you had a pass. That's why you had a pass for nobody getting on your ass. That's the irony. You had a pass from us getting on your ass because you were doing us what we considered a service. As a community. You were doing the community a service to us. Because you were highlighting members of our community that we felt did not belong. These are people that are bad, that don't need to be in our culture. They told, they did bad, they're not one of us. They're not one of us. And this guy would always reference his stories with stuff. That's the irony. But again, that goes back to how people insult your intelligence on this internet. So if anybody's a fan of my channel or any fan of my chop or how I give it up, I hope that you're a fan of the fact of how authentic I keep it. This is just genuinely me, how I think, how I feel, how I live. All right? A lot of people, though, they like being lied to. They like being finessed. They like being treated stupid. So they don't even feel that offended when it happens. Because they automatically assume that's what everybody does. They be surprised when you tell them the truth. They be like, yeah, I mean, you know, what? What'd you expect? I mean, I've been thought the niggas fake. So you watch these videos all the time? Yeah, I don't give a fuck, nigga. All these niggas fake. Rappers fake, this fake. I'm wearing fake Gucci right now, but niggas don't care. Is it okay to be a white gangster? White people are the original gangsters. Fuck you mean? White people have done some of the most evil gangster things in the history of humanity. But the thing is, it's not about color, baby. The problem is it's about culture. Some people are really culture vultures. This man is someone that basically told us that even though you've been living the life of a black man for however 40, 30 years, you're still a white guy at heart. Your heart is white. Your heart says, I'm denouncing being a gang member. Because, nigga, how you gonna denounce what you are? That's what a real gangster tell you. If a nigga asks me, yo, do you denounce being a wolf? I'm gonna say, how am I denounce what I am? That's what I am. That's what's on me. That's what's in me. That's who I've been my whole life. That's what I've been banging. That's what I've been. How you gonna deny what you are? You've never felt that's what you are. You never felt like that's what you are. Because that's never what you was. Hello? Yeah, where it's a lot of people could put on a mat for him for a long time. You could wear that uniform. You can go to sleep in that uniform. You could wake up in that uniform. What's up? Hey Smith, if you're a man, you got one handsome, bro, before you get blocked, man. But thank you, brother. You said you're absolutely right, honey. You feel me, Talina? You said only so long they could pretend. Yeah, man. Hey, so we ain't even gonna be that long-winded on this because I feel like I'm giving a rat too much light now anyway. But yeah, this one deserved at least a recap because of the fact that one, stop letting these like, I don't get it. And I'm gonna address something that's an elephant in the room. I don't even know if some people will even get to this, but the people that's here and the people that digest this and really like real shit will, right? Real spill, real deal, coming from a real black man that loves my people, that still fights the power, even though I'm not a squeaky clean, or you know what I'm saying? I'm somebody that's come from the mud on some level, right? Can't be believing internet people. Yeah, but it's even deeper than that. As a culture, we're still programmed in certain ways. You still got young niggas from Florida talking about if she dark skinned, I don't want no black ass bitch because I'm black. It's like you still got niggas that really don't even realize, yo, you still think like a slave, nigga. White man still really got is still in your generational curse that your grandmother, your mother, and all that, they brought it down right to you. You still passing down slave genes, nigga. You might as well eat some chitlins and ham hocks and, you know what I'm saying, be talking about, hey, massa, and put some damn overalls on. You might as well make some true religion overalls. Make some true religion overalls and take your shirt off, nigga, and start chewing a straw. Because you on slave time. That's how you think. You hate niggas. You think it's okay to have a bar talking about KKK, I hate niggas. Like, you think that's a good bar. I've heard that bar at least 4 or 5 times, bro, from these young niggas. KKK and something about hating niggas. You might as well put on a, go back to slavery then, nigga. Like, you hate niggas so much and you such a fucking coon that you think it's, you know what you're really doing? And that's one move, right? It's the nigga killers that's killing niggas that think this is what we're supposed to rap about. This is what we're supposed to represent. And I understand if you lost in the field, your homie died. Somebody slid on your cousin. You know what I'm saying? You're lost in the hate. You're lost in the retribution. You're lost in the redemption. You're lost in the revenge that you feel like you need. You feel like your brother can't rest until you justify his death by getting back at his. This is why I'm blessed that I've never had to deal with this, and inshallah I'll never do. I just said this on this new album, which is going to be available soon, Pimps Don't Cry, June 30th, where I said, what if nobody smacked your homies, they just gone? It kind of leaves you in a position where you don't even have nowhere to put that, whatever. I got a bunch of men, you know, brothers and men that was gone, but nobody whacked them. Nobody that I know of, except for my cousin Brent and his killers booked or some other shit. Nobody killed none of my homies. They're just gone. But when somebody unalives your peoples, yeah, that builds a cycle of hate. That builds a cycle that keeps going. But the point of it is, they make money off capitalizing off of this. They know that. These labels, these people, they like, yes, they want somebody that got some smoke going on. They want somebody that got some drama and some attached to them, right? Because they know that's going to create that energy that creates what? Death, jail, everything else, right? So boom, that's one side of it. The other side is, who the niggas that's supposedly so scary, supposedly the biggest gangsters, what are they doing? Sucking up to a what to get on? A white man. There's a video, and I'm not saying that's what's happening here before we get it confused, but I'm going to say how someone could look at it this way. Feel me though. There's a video of Adam 22 walking around in New York with LA gang members, New York gang members, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say everybody's name, but there's a few, you know, LA Bloods, a few New York Bloods, and they're making it, you know, they're shooting a video in a park or whatever, but the energy is as if like, yeah, we're all together, whatever, right? And some people were saying, you know, of course they were getting backlash because one, as consumers, we're looking at it as this white man is linking all of y'all together to basically make money off of y'all on some gang stuff. And y'all looking at it as like y'all doing something big because y'all with this white man. That's making money off exploiting y'all gangs and lives and deaths and murders and jail and homies. He's making money off y'all stories. Well, shout out to you, Adam. I fuck with you, 22ster. Right? You a funny dude. And you doing your job. Hey, whatever. You ain't grow up with these guys. It ain't your job to care about how they feel about nothing. But your job is literally to, showcase. Hopefully these people crash out, right? And say crazy stuff on your internet. Hopefully they do weird stuff, right? Because that's money for you, right? But these other guys, they're really excited, right, to be on your platform, which understandably, because they look at that as what? Money. Attention equals money to a lot of people nowadays. They thinking, I'm about to be on No Jumper. We got No Jumper in the hood, nigga. Yeah, you see what we doing? We outside, baby. No Jumper, nigga. Throw it up. Woo, woo. Da-da. Well, they don't understand that they're looking like to us like, so you look like you're tap dancing for the master, man. You look like you're really just happy that this white man is around, and you wouldn't be with this other black man and this other gang member except for him. So you want us, and shout out to my nigga Hattie Rax, you know what I'm saying? That's my boy from the Bronx. He had a take on it where he was basically saying, well, y'all should just be happy that we was together and there was no violence and everything was positive. But it's like, Hattie, the point of it is, niggas was together because of this white man that's basically other people look at as exploiting us. And he's making money off of the fact that niggas is going at each other. He's shooting blogs with different gang members that's beefing with each other to make money off of the gang wars. That's people dying off of. So how you want people to be happy that y'all is happy to be up under a white dude that's exploiting you? That's just a take, right? I'm not saying that's my take. I'm saying that's a lot of people's take. I'm leaning towards that take because of the fact that I see the results and I'm a fan of my culture. You know what I'm saying? I watched No Jumper. You know what I'm saying? I just said in my lines in the Marv battle, which is out right now, shameless plug, blah, blah, before I get up out of here, I said, free the Crips. I said, I'm in cahoots with villains and troops who cannons is loose, but free the Crips because ain't no little me's or big U's. Right? Because I'm saying, ain't no big me's or little U's, ain't no little me's or big U's, big U, loose cannon, free the Crips, right? I'm in tune, I'm seeing what's going on, and I'm like, you know what I mean? But they're using all of that against us. They're using all these videos, all this sit down and talk about the politics and the gang and where you're from and all this. They're using that all in court. So what is this but a setup so other people being happy to be a part of a setup? Is that how dumb we are now? Where we're happy to be part? Like, it's like, yes, I'm about to ruin my life. Yep. About to get on the podcast where I can talk all about my gang, nigga. Rico! You know what I'm saying? Rico ain't coming, nigga. So we giving it up. The whole world gonna know about us, nigga. For like 2 years. About to be lit, nigga. Yeah, I'm gonna get 20 to life, but they gonna know about every hat, nigga. They gonna know about every hat we caught. They gonna know about every block we spent, nigga. Yeah. Every op gonna feel me, nigga. You feel me? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they gonna get a nigga and all that. They gonna lock a nigga up and all that. But shit, I got to know Jumper though. You feel me? At least I got to tell my nigga my story. You dig me? Yeah. Niggas gotta know, B. Niggas gotta know. That's how niggas is really thinking. Niggas gotta know. Niggas gotta know you a gangster. Niggas gotta know we got back. They gotta know we was the ones that did that. They gotta know. So Adam is the way that you know, right? Imagine if Tretch was talking double R biz on MTV. We'd be looking at him crazy. Hello? You feel me? That I actually had to put y'all in the freezer. It's overheating. The phone overheated again. You know what I mean? And we do 15 on the way too, but this is like, these how much it's going to be overheating. But yeah, I'm gonna say this before
because you made an interesting point talking about Tretch and the double I, right? Because when I was locked up, I just read about this, right? First of all, free massacre, right? And shout out to all my brothers from Illtown, which is in Irvington, New Jersey. Excuse me, East Orange, New Jersey, right? And I actually moved to East Orange. That was the first place I moved when I moved to New Jersey. That was the first place I moved in South Munn. It's not far from where that whole thing started, which was one of the first blood sets in New Jersey, right? Inglewood to Illtown, double I, blood. I didn't even know about all this stuff with Tretch and all of them. Now, you knew that certain people moved with the Bloods back in the days, right? EO, right? Dot Town, right? They call it Dot Town too, right? But like, you knew, shot to Clifford High School, et cetera, right? But you knew, and first of all, shout out to the whole Essex County, you know what I'm saying? We're not playing politics and divide stuff. I'm just, we just shouting out the top, right? But like, when you looked at like celebrities back in the day, you always saw celebrities with gang members. You saw Pac with the Bloods. Saw him with the Crips. You saw Snoop and Biggie and them would be out with the Crips, right? You would see some, but they didn't have to bring the gangster politics to the internet. You didn't need that to validate your street cred, right? You didn't have to sit down with a white man to tell him basically the same thing you would be telling the police. What makes it different? What makes it different when you're gonna play it in court anyway? So yeah, that was interesting what he said is you're not gonna see Tretch on MTV talking about the Bloods. He never did that. Never let us even know that he was really a part of that life. Because why? Because he wasn't doing that for the clout of it, right? He might have on some street time, I don't know. First of all, shout out to Tretch, that's my guy. But like, he didn't need that to get on. He didn't need that to get hot. He didn't need that to get lit. You know what I'm saying? He was hot. And he put his own pain in, right? Podcast says ninjas solving crimes for the police. Yeah, that's basically where we at. Yeah, I put that thing in the freezer on y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, who gonna give you that level of dedication, man? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get this together, man. Right after I get off to this, y'all got my word. After I get off of this live right now, I'm buying my throne, man. I'm buying the Jones throne, and from then on, we got some chopping to do, man. As soon as that arrives from that day forth, we're gonna have these episodes laid out. Laid out flat as a you know what booty. But I love y'all, man. Make sure y'all tap in. Check out the new content that we got. The new Marv battle is out right now. Go check that out. Serius Jones versus Marv 1. Go check out Sincere Cypher. Go check out the Art of World War book if you haven't already. You know what I'm saying? And this album is